How y'all are? This is your buddy George Jones over at the Alberga Gun Range with my next installment on Hey, I got this old used gun. We're actually going to talk today about one of my favorite firearms, one of my favorite personal defensive type firearms, and that's this. The Model 36, also known as the Chief Special. Now, when this gun came out in the 1950s, actually in 1950, it was known as the Chief Special. Smith & Wesson came up with it for a National Chiefs of Police convention in 1950, and that's when it debuted. The Chief was known as the Chief of Police until 1958, or about that time, when Smith & Wesson started putting model number designations on firearms as opposed to naming them, things like Chief or Highway Patrol or whatever. In 1954, they came out with this version of the Chief, the square butt, which many people seem to like. 1965, they came out with this guy, the Model 36 in stainless, which was designated the Model 60 Chief. Apparently, the Model 60 was pretty popular because everybody wanted one. It was one of the very first stainless steel guns to be produced in America. And basically it was produced because chiefs of police, assistant chiefs of police, senior police administrators, and detectives are not very good at doing firearms maintenance, apparently, so you have to have one that doesn't rust in their holster. But anyway, it was a really prestige type gun. I remember in the early 1970s when I first started fooling with guns, these guys were very desirable then. This is a used police trade-in, and it's worth about $450, and in those days they cost about $400. The Chief is a very serviceable firearm. The only thing it's got against it is it only holds 5, and the best thing it's got going for it is it's easy to carry. The square butt is a little bit more desirable for some people because you've got a little bit more gripping surface on the square butt that allows you to absorb the recoil from a 38 Special a little bit better. One of the ways you can overcome that before we had Packmeyer grips, and these things were very common, was to add the Tyler T-grip, which my personal gun here is equipped with the Tyler T-grip, and it does give you more gripping surface and make that gun easier to shoot. So, having a little history lesson and keeping up with my personal preference, if you're not firing guns, you're not making gun content. Let's shoot the old square butt against the round butt and see what the difference is in terms of how it feels to shoot it, and I'll give you my opinion. I've never owned a square butt, so it's like it's a new thing to me. This is, I've never owned a square butt Model 36. Let's put about 5 in it and see where we can get down the road here. I've got a very interesting target. It's a factory second. It was, I got a big roll of these things, and they were, they printed 2 different style targets on the same piece of paper. You'll see it in a minute. Let's see how it shoots. It does feel good. It does. It's a little easier to shoot. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Let's try the one more. You only need one more. Let's try the Model 60 with the smaller grip frame and see how it actually feels. Now I'm shooting a hand load that's a medium velocity lead reload. Now with plus P's, the recoil impulse would be a whole lot different. It'll be a whole lot different. But these are a good range target load. Let's see how this one shoots in terms of recoil. Oh, about the same with the same load. A little bit more. That one's a little hotter. This target is at 10 yards. Let's see how a 2-inch 38 shoots at 10 yards. Or if I can get out of this low-slung California rake chair. Nice and cold out today. About 10 degrees. That would have been 10 rounds. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're all in there. Nice defensive accuracy at this range. You know, very serviceable gun. I tend to shoot revolvers pretty well because, you know, I came up in policing during the era of the revolver. I never saw anyone carry. I started working about 1979, and I never saw anybody carrying a automatic pistol until, with the exception of a few guys who carried 1911s. I never saw anybody carrying one well up into the 90s. You know, a few guys locally would carry 1911s in modernized Western rigs. I think it was like 3 guys in Pulaski County carried 1911s. I think one of the KSP guys that used to work with us all the time carried a Model 39, but that was it. Everybody else carried revolvers. You know, I carried a Colt Trooper for years. You know, but most guys carried Smith & Wesson revolvers. A few guys carried Colts, but, you know, my first law enforcement firearms qualification was with a revolver. What's the advantage to the 36? Well, 36s are easy carry. They don't weigh much. They're not big overall in size. You know, if you like a revolver, a 36 style gun is the one to carry. The thing about it is, I consulted the website. They don't actually make one anymore configured like this. They've tried to modernize their designs and so forth, and have gotten away from the old classic lines of the Model 60 and the Model 36. You know, if you're an old school guy like me, you know, this is a very desirable gun. The square butt even more. I would love to have one of the old square butts with a 3-inch barrel. They'd be really cool. But you can't find them. People keep collecting them up, and, you know, there's something about a Chief, something about the Model 36 and the 60 that really hangs people up. It's one of those guns I classify as a hook gun because guys are hooked on them. You know, they're like World War II 1911s, or they're like broom handle Mausers or Lugers. You know, people are hooked on that gun. You know, and they'll buy every one that they see regardless of how much it costs. But in the end, it's a good serviceable gun. This gun in today's market is worth about $450. It's in really good condition. It's good mechanical condition, and it's about 98% finish. This gun's worth at a minimum $450. The 60, you know, this one will probably sell for $500. it's in 98% condition. The grips are in good shape. It shoots straight and it's mechanically sound. These guys are ridiculous amounts of money. I paid the lady's estate, for this gun, and paid her $450 because that's what I thought it was worth, you know. And the wife of a very good friend of mine that had passed away, and I wasn't going to try and chisel his estate. You know, I did the due diligence, fessed up the money, and bought it. I've carried this gun for several years now, and it's a very serviceable gun. It's old flat latch, you know, made in the 1950s, and it works. And I shoot it. You know, I don't have any save queens. They all work, or they all play, or they all take a ride. Well, that's about the size of it. Oh, speed loader. If you've got a revolver, you probably need to have a speed loader, just tell you the truth. Now, the speed loader for the Chief is the HKS 36. You know, well, if you're going to load it, you might as well shoot it, right? So, the speed loader for the Model 36 is, in fact, the HKS 36. 5-shot speed loader. Stick that guy in there, turn the knob, drop him in there, and you're ready to go. Just like that. And then you can throw her up there and start shooting. That would have been a plus P right there. What? Yeah, it says right there on it, plus P. Yeah, says right there on it, plus P. Oh, says right there on it, plus P. Says right there on it, plus, that's enough of that. So, yeah, it says right there on it, plus P. Yeah, that's about enough of that. But the correct speed loader for the Model 36, the Model 60 is the HKS 36. All right. Yeah, get some blood back in this thing. Like, share, pie, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me an old $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to. I'll probably need it from an orthopedic surgeon. Check on your old people. Be a good citizen in your community. Be kind to everyone you meet, but have a plan. Join the NRA. God bless everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.